New numbers show high school test scores are dropping across this country, particularly when it comes to math. Some educators are blaming the overuse of screens and pandemic closures of classrooms, with many students learning from home for about 27 weeks during the pandemic. But there are other issues affecting math skills and how our kids are learning. Joining me from Collingwood with a closer look at the problems and solutions is Vanessa Vicaria, CEO at the Math Guru Tutoring. Nice to see you, Vanessa. Good morning.
It's so good to see you.
Okay, we have to talk about this. I mean, these numbers come from the latest report by the Organization for Economic Cooperation, which looks at student assessments in 81 countries around the world. So you and I are going to look at this together. And it found only 12% of students in this country are considered high math achievers. That is compared to 41% of students in Singapore, 23% of students in Korea and Japan. So what's going on?
Okay, so first of all, I need to make it so clear to everyone watching that I am not a test score fan. So I'm looking at this, I'm rolling my eyes a bit. I'm not going to do it on camera. But what really bothers me about the way this conversation is happening, and we're here to clear it up, is all of the pieces I've seen written about this are saying something along the lines of, because our test scores have decreased since 2003, we should go back to teaching math the way we did in 2003. And that's what I kind of want to focus on, clearing that up here. Like, as you know, I'm a tutor. I tutor thousands of students. You know, like, I have friends at other tutoring studios, like mostly math. My friend Sarah works there. Like, we see the same things. And I can tell you guys empirically from the students we see, there is a decline in math skills. Okay, our students' math skills have decreased at least over the past decade, definitely the past 20 years, but not for the reasons we necessarily think. It is not because we need to go back to teaching math in this basics way, because listeners, viewers, most of the adults you know are probably not that savvy with math and probably have horrible relationships with math. We need to be forward thinking, and we're not. We are not seeing what our kids value. So, like, I want to talk about a few of the reasons why our test scores have declined. And not even that, more of the reasons why actual math skills are declining in our kids.
So why, I mean, you see thousands of students, you work with these students one-on-one. What are you seeing? Why is this happening?
So there's three things. Number one, a lack of recognition of what our students value. Anyone watching right now who has kids, I want you to picture yourself in 2003. Okay, I was a student in 2003. I was being taught the only way to make it was a 9-to-5 job. I had to get hired by a company. You know, these skills were very, very important. Math was essential. Things are different now, right? Like, I want to point this out. The way we used to teach math was by bullying kids into saying, if you don't do this, you are not going to get a job. If you don't do this, you're not going to graduate school. Now kids are saying, okay, well, I just saw someone on TikTok who made $1 million making string things for their phone. So, you know, like, they are kind of calling our bluff. Also, we are raising kids to be outspoken, to think for themselves, to think critically. We can't just tell them to sit down and do something. That's what back to basics math is. That does not work on these kids. We're still kind of teaching that way, and these kids don't respond well to that. The other thing is the content has not changed. Imagine I told you, I'm going to teach you how to work a Discman, and you need to pay attention and figure it out. You'd be like, I don't need that, right? So, like, we haven't changed the content since 2003. So, like, this stuff isn't important to kids. Those are some of the three major reasons. And also, our kids today are so much more anxious than they were in 2003.
True.
If we don't incorporate, like, when we're tutoring, we're always incorporating anxiety management. We're making sure kids know that mistakes are a part of learning. If we don't do that, we're missing a lot of kids.
We're going to have you back, Vanessa, because I'd love to hear when you talk about what the kids value these days and how we can sort of translate that into the learning. I think that we should save that for another day for, you know, this very important conversation. Good to see you as always. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.